Daniel has a question here. Would processing Humanure in a worm farm system be feasible? Do you know of examples where this is being done? What special considerations for a Humanure vermicompost system do you feel deserves highlighting or special consideration? Well, there's been quite a few compost worm compost toilet systems over the years, and they all seem to eventually fail or become uneconomic because of management issues. So there's been systems in Australia and in New Zealand I know of that work perfectly well as long as you're prepared to manage the worms. So there's another living element in here, not just the compost process where you have to put high carbon material down with the Humanure, but also you have to manage the worms themselves in the tank. And if they're not managed right, then you get failures, people don't understand what's happened, you get a lot of dysfunction, and these systems usually start off very, very positive and work very well, but then fail on human error. So we've seen lots of these fail over time. So yes, it works. It does work to have Humanure processed by compost worms, but you've got to manage the carbon element going in and the food for the worms and the worm population, the conditions being right for the worms to do their processing. Now, if you go the other way around and you say, right, can I take compost, processed compost, Humanure compost from a compost toilet and put it in a worm farm so that they do the final process. So we've got composted material. It's come out of a compost toilet. It might have been in there 10 months. It's got lots of carbon added to it. The pathogens have all been gone through their process. So we haven't got any dangerous material in there. And that material then is put in a worm farm. The worms will process it, yes, but it's got so much carbon in it, it makes a very low grade product. So your worm castings now are not very high quality, but you can take the material from a compost toilet after the normal processing and scheduling, 6, 8, 9 months after you've stopped delivering, you're taking it out, putting it in a worm farm. They'll take it to another level of process, but it's not a very good end product as far as fertility as worm castings, because there's just so much sawdust and so much high carbon in it. So it's yes, all the way, but problems with human element management on the commercially produced systems that we've seen. And if you're doing it after processing in your worm farm, it ends up, it's not a very good end product. Often nowhere near as useful for fertilizing vegetables and herbs and nursery potting mixes. Probably quite okay to put out on trees as a low grade fertilizer.